Hello, this is Thomas McKay, and I'm doing my entrepreneurship interview assignment. I interviewed Kirt Peterson. He owns Horizons Development and Management. They specialize in developing multifamily housing, specifically low income housing. His company is vertically integrated, and what this means, they do all aspects. Developing, ownership, construction, and property management. So they handle all sides, and it's unusual. Most of these companies don't do it. He talks about finding this opportunity. He started out as a commercial appraiser, and he wanted a reoccurring income stream. Um, and so he used the knowledge he'd gained from appraising to start building and managing these low income housings. And he avoided large apartment complexes because they're more expensive. And so he just stuck with affordable housing. His mentors, he had a business partner named Mark Adams, and Mark had a brother named Dave. And he kind of talks about how um, he mentored him and he had practical advice and suggestions on it, and that helped him succeed. He talked about how he had talked to him multiple times a week, and he was just kind of always available to talk to him. When he was financing his company, usually you get funding from a number of places because these are part of the community. But because he's starting his company, no one really wants to fund him yet. So he used his own capital. And then once, which is risky, because you could lose all that money. But once he found success, he moved away from that and he started using the funding available to him and the money that people would give him to build these low income houses. When he's getting into the market, he talked about how he had a lot of luck. Basically, now there's 3 times the competition or double the competition than when he started. Which means 3 times the amount of people fighting for the funding. And so now he talks about how he was lucky to get started before that, but that luck would be useless without hard work beforehand. Because if it took him a while and then that built up, he wouldn't be able to get that funding and he would still be in his own income. His vital resources for him are his relationships and his networking. He has to have good relationships with banks, business people, subcontractors, and just people he's going to work with. He has to hire a lot of different people. That's mainly how he does every aspect of operating low income housing. So he talks about how he would network. He would go to many meetings. Every opportunity he had, he was going to meetings. He'd be going to conventions locally and nationally. So he's going everywhere. He's just reaching out to every single person he thought could be a good business, could be good for his business. When I think about applying that to my own business, I need to be looking outside of the box in a sense. I need to be looking outside of my industry, and looking at every aspect that I'm going to need help from, so I can get in contact with and get help from every person who I'm going to be involved with. When I'm getting into the market too, even when I'm working hard, I got to be working hard the whole time so that when good fortune does come, I'm ready and I'm ready to capitalize on it. And when I'm financing my business to start, I'm going to have to use my own capital because, I'm not going to have anywhere else to really get it from. And so, just be ready to move those funds around because, things change. And if I'm more successful, maybe I don't need to be putting as much money and time into a certain part. And find mentors too that I can always talk to and they're always available to give me advice. And then finally, look for opportunities within what I know. Kirt obviously knew real estate from appraising. And so he went down that route, and that's how he found the opportunity, which led him to be as big and successful as he is today. So those are things that I'll be sure to look for and apply in my own business.